This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 21st day of April in the year 2020. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The leader of the Alliance for Change and prime ministerial candidate in the APNU-AFC coalition, Comrade Ramjatan, has welcomed the move to have a recount of all the votes cast in the 2nd of March elections. During an interview on Kaichor Radio today, Mr. Ramjatan said the recount should bring some satisfaction to those involved in the process.
Do the recount here. Do that which will ensure that everybody feels satisfied. Win, lose, or draw, we accept it and we move on.
The Guyana Elections Commission is preparing to begin a recount of all votes cast in the elections. That recount could start within days. The APNU-AFC prime ministerial candidate, who is the current public security minister, said it is better to have the recount rather than to present declarations that some of the political parties might see as a problem.
I believe that this is better than if you now have a declaration that half the country would not like. Whether that half is the PPP half or the APNU-AFC half, and it is better. And it is going to be in a recount of this nature of all the boxes, whereby you can avoid even an elections petition. Assuming she comes out and she says, well, the declaration is X and we win the elections, and the PPP half feels very bad about it and then have to wait 4 years, the last elections petition, or 5 years, the last elections petition took to verify whether the elections was legal or not.
Mr. Ramjatan was asked what would be his reaction if the results from the recount showed that the PPP won the elections.
I will immediately congratulate Irfan Ali and tell him, God bless, and I am here to give as much support as possible. I would hope that they would do the same if APNU-AFC wins.
Both sides have been claiming early victory in the elections that are still to be finalized more than 7 weeks after citizens went to the polls. More news coming up in a moment.
Parents and guardians, you are encouraged to tune in to the Guyana Learning Channel, Cable 29 or Channel 42 for daily educational and interactive learning sessions. The nursery program airs from 6 hours to 9 hours. Primary programs from 9 hours to 12 noon. We also air informative documentaries from 12 noon to 13 hours, and our secondary level programs are aired from 13 hours to 15 hours. Please continue to listen to our radio broadcasts. The interactive radio instruction for grades 1 to 3 daily on Voice of Guyana from 9 hours 30 to 10 hours for grade 1 pupils, from 10 hours 30 to 11 hours for grade 2s, and 13 hours to 13 hours 30 for grade 3 pupils. Please remember to tune in to benefit from these educational opportunities. A message from the Ministry of Education.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
We can reduce the risk of contracting viruses by strengthening our immune system, and one way of doing this is by eating as healthily as possible to support optimal immune function. Micronutrients essential to fight infection include vitamins A, B, C, D, and E, and the minerals iron, selenium, and zinc. Here's what we need to know about the foods we can eat to get them. Vitamin A is found in fish, egg yolks, cheese, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and beans. Vitamin B9 folate is abundant in green leafy vegetables, beans, nuts, and seeds, and it's also added to a lot of the flour that we use in Guyana. Vitamin B12 is found in animal products including eggs, meat, and dairy, and also in some fortified milk. Vitamin C and vitamin E helps to protect our body when we're fighting an infection. Good sources of vitamin C include oranges, lemons, limes, tomatoes, and cherries. In Guyana, one of our cherry has the amount of vitamin C needed for the entire day for a person. Vitamin E is found in nuts, green leafy vegetables, and vegetable oils. Although sun exposure allows the body to produce vitamin D, food sources including eggs, fish, and some milk and margarine brands may be fortified with vitamin D, meaning some extra has been added. Most people need just a few minutes outdoors most days to get enough of the vitamin D needed. And beyond diet, there are other measures you can take to stay as healthy as possible. No smoking, reduce the intake of alcohol or none at all, exercise every day, and sleep and rest well. And please remember to reduce your intake of sweetened and carbonated beverages and drink lots and lots of water.
Welcome back. Well, let's tell you now that the Guyana Elections Commission has indicated that it is awaiting word from the CARICOM Secretariat on the high-level team expected in Guyana to be part of the recount process. In a statement this afternoon, the Commission said once those arrangements are finalized, a date for the start of the elections will be announced. The Commission said it remains resolute at ensuring that the recount exercise commences within the shortest possible time and concludes in an expeditious, credible, and transparent manner. Late yesterday, the National COVID-19 Task Force announced that members of the CARICOM team coming to Guyana to be part of the recount process could have their coronavirus test done in their home country. Once the results are negative, they'll be allowed into Guyana and will not have to undergo any quarantine. For those officials who may not be able to get the test done in their home country, once they arrive in Guyana, the Ministry of Public Health will administer the test, but they will have to self-quarantine for 2 days as they await the results. The Guyana Elections Commission has already indicated that it will be using 10 workstations for the recount, with all of those workstations being on the inside of the Arthur Chung Convention Center. Additionally, the recount will be done daily for a total of 10 hours, beginning at 8 o'clock in the morning and continuing until 6 o'clock in the evening. The chairperson of the Elections Commission, Justice Claudette Singh, has said she is eager to have the process completed. A number of Guyanese scholarship students in Cuba want to return home until the coronavirus pandemic is under some control. In a letter to the Guyana Embassy in Cuba and the Ministry of Public Service in Guyana, a group of students expressed worry about a situation in Cuba with a growing shortage of food and other supplies available to them. In the letter, the students explained that at one medical school, the situation is declining, even as the school is attempting to portray the situation as normal. Cuba has recorded more than 620 confirmed cases of the coronavirus within the past month, with more than 25 deaths recorded. The students are worried that the number appears to be climbing, and with the restrictions put in place by the Cuban authorities, they believe it will be best for them to head home to Guyana. They have complained about being starved of information from the Cuban authorities about the situation. In a statement, the Public Service Ministry, which overlooks Guyanese scholarship students, said it has been in touch with the Guyana Embassy in Cuba about the welfare of the Guyanese students. The Ministry of Public Service has said that a probe of its own has indicated that many of the students who signed the letter were unaware of its contents and that it was seeking seeking to have them return to Guyana now. The ministry said some medical students have clearly indicated that they are on their final rotation and do not wish to come home now. The ministry said it will be providing food and sanitary hampers through the embassy to the students in Cuba, since they will not be allowed to come home at this time, with the Guyana airport and other airports in the region closed. Additionally, parents of the students in Cuba were allowed to put together care packages and deliver those packages today to the ministry for shipment to Cuba. The Public Service Ministry release noted that the situation with the students will continue to be closely monitored. There is still no sign of a Pomeroon farmer who was thrown overboard last evening when a boat belonging to the GDF Coast Guard crashed into his boat in the Pomeroon River. The farmer Ryan Kayam is now feared dead. 3 other persons who were in the boat with the farmer at the time were pulled to safety by the Coast Guard ranks, but searches last evening and today have so far come up empty-handed. The farmer, his wife and 2 workers were reportedly heading back home after a day at the marketplace. The Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Defense Force have both launched an investigation into the incident. The police force and the prison service are continuing their search for the 4 escapees from the Lusignan jail. There is still no trace of the 4 men who bolted from the jail's holding bay on Monday morning. In a statement, the prison service said the men escaped during a heavy downpour at around 3:46 on Monday morning. The prison service said the prisoners escaped by jumping the eastern fence. They were discovered missing during the roll call about 3 hours later. 3 of the prisoners were on remand for various crimes, while the 4th was serving a 3-year jail sentence. The escaped prisoners have been identified as 26-year-old Anthony Padmore of Betafawacting, East Coast, Demerara. He was recently sentenced to 3 years in jail for marijuana trafficking. 26-year-old Kenrol Perez of Mabaruma was on remand for murder. 24-year-old Saisnaran Bishnot of Tushan Housing Scheme was also on remand. His crimes: robbery and armed robbery. And 32-year-old Ganesh Danraj from Parika was on remand for the murder of his wife. The Guyana Prison Service has also provided details on the next of kin for the escaped prisoners, and the prison service is asking that anyone who may know the whereabouts of the 4 men to contact the nearest police station, or you can also call 911. Across the region is coming up next.
Wondering how you can access free learning materials for your children? Parents and guardians, please visit the Ministry of Education's website at www.education.gov.gy to access textbooks, past papers, and practice tests to keep your child engaged in continuous learning. When you have accessed the site, go to the Students tab, wait for a second, and choose the appropriate option. You now have access to the resources you need. You are encouraged to take advantage of this opportunity as we strive to provide the best education for the nation's children. A message from the Ministry of Education.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Canaan, East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013 with over $10 billion Guyana dollars invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000 barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
Are you washing your hands correctly? Here are some tips on when and how to wash your hands. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water. Step 2. Then apply soap. Step 3. For 10 to 15 seconds, lather your palms together. Always remember to pay attention to your fingers, especially your nails and tips. And don't forget the back and between of your fingers. Step 4. Rinse hands with clean water for about 20 seconds. Step 5. Dry hands with a clean paper towel or tissue.
But when should you wash your hands? After using the toilet, before and after eating, preparing or handling uncooked food, after playing with pets or caring for animals, after sneezing and coughing or blowing your nose, before and after changing babies or caring for others.
Frequent hand washing or using a hand sanitizer with alcohol as an alternative will remove viruses and bacteria from your hands.
A message from the Ministry of Public Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO.
Across the region right now, the National Festivals Minister in Antigua and Barbuda, Daryl Matthew, has announced that the Twin Island Nation's premier summer festival has been cancelled as COVID-19 continues to grip the world. He said that Cabinet, during its discussions over the weekend, accepted his recommendation to call off Carnival, which was originally scheduled for July 23 to August 4. Matthew also said a strong belief that the public will have no interest in attending social and intimate gatherings during and after the COVID-19 pandemic was another factor contributing to the decision to cancel the 2020 event. He disclosed that the Festivals Commission has produced an independent schedule for this year, which will be released when there has been official clearance that the COVID-19 pandemic has subsided. In Latin America, medical personnel in Peru have protested against the lack of protective equipment in hospitals, which they say is forcing them to reuse single-use masks. According to a tally kept by Johns Hopkins University, Peru has more than 16,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, second only to Brazil in Latin America. And finally tonight, international news. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has told US President Donald Trump that he's feeling better and on the road to recovery, according to the White House. In a phone call earlier today, the two leaders discussed the need for an international response to the coronavirus pandemic and a post-Brexit trade deal. The US added that they also reaffirmed their close cooperation to reopen global economies and ensure medical care and supplies reach all those in need. Mr. Johnson is also expected to speak to the Queen in another telephone call later this week. For the first time in 3 weeks, he was discharged from the hospital last week after spending several days there fighting the coronavirus. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Gordon Mosley reporting.